Hello and welcome back. Thank you once again for joining me. We're going to continue a recent thread of conversation here about truth and setting the goal of every situation that we find ourselves in life as truth, how powerful that is, and what that actually does. And we're going through chapter 17 of the text of A Course in Miracles, which in fact we're finishing up today with this discussion, looking at the last section of it. Now, there are different parts of this course. There's the text, there's the workbook for students, there's the manual for teachers, and the clarification of terms, and the two supplements as well. So you could be doing any one of those and still derive great benefit from our conversation that's based on a portion of the text. So it doesn't make any difference where you are with this material. And if you're tuning in and you are not a course student, welcome. You're here for a reason, and I invite you to stick around because the Holy Spirit has a message for you. That's why you're here. I have no idea what that will, in fact, be, but you will know when it lands for you because you may certainly count on the fact that it is your inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, speaking to you. When something connects, yeah, it's not this guy. In fact, it's never this guy. So let's just wrap this idea up with a lesson on sheer simplicity. This is what we resist so much. I mean, you might even say it's what we resist the most here in life is the sheer simplicity of truth, which simply is. And we ourselves, whether we choose to admit it or not, block it. We introduce all of the complications that we experience here on this wobbling, spinning ball of rock. We introduce all of the complications ourselves. Truth is remarkably simple. In fact, it's disarmingly simple. That is the point. We're all armored up and geared up for battle. And you don't have to actually be in an armed conflict either. Many of us live in societies with relative peace, yet we're still armored for battle. And we have our weapons at the ready all of the time. And well, it's tense and it's stressful. What do I mean by that? You might say, well, I don't own any weapons. Okay, no problem. In our mind, there's still conflict going on. Armed conflict is but an extreme expression of this. It happens all of the time when we repeatedly and continually see our brother, in other words, other people, as other, as separate from us. We assume, based on our conditioning, that our brother's out to get our stuff. If we're in business, we may see him as a competitor. And what do? Well, you are trained here in the world to overcome the competition. That is only one example. We're constantly unsettled in the mind because we're always stressed and worried. that we're going to not have enough of something, or we're going to lose what we have. And as long as we continue to see ourselves as individuals, that is going to come up. What's refreshing and true about this course is that it teaches us that, contrary to how we've all been conditioned through no fault of our own, of course, because our parents and our societies were conditioned in the same way. Yeah. We've all been conditioned to see the world as our reality, and we see it as coming at us. It is rather coming from us. It's coming from us. Mind is the cause. This world that we appear to inhabit is the effect. Mind is the cause. This course is very powerful in that it goes right to the heart of the matter. It operates on the cause, not changing the effect. So you'll notice that A Course in Miracles is not about effecting change in the world that we appear to inhabit. It's not about attracting a hot, sexy, romantic partner. It's not about bolstering your bank account or manifesting more toys. But, if you do, great. As a result of doing this course, you may, in fact, attract a really beautiful romantic partnership. You may, but that is not the point. By doing this course, you may, in fact, make money at something, maybe a lot. But again, that is not the point. The point is not to clear your credit card balance so you can run off on a vacation, though maybe that will happen. Again, not the point. The point of this course, and well, it either attracts people or puts them off, is to change our mind. This course is to change your mind. What's in it for you? Awakening. Yeah, that. What we all deep down want, the peace of God. How can I simply say, just and come right out and say that that's what we all want? Well, it is. It is what we all want. It is why we find ourselves interested in spirituality in the first place. And quite simply, it is. It's what has us on the path, whatever our practice looks like right now, if anything. Whatever tradition or traditions you're drawn to, we're all seeking the same thing. So we can make monumental, quantum exponential progress by doing what we're going to talk about for the next few minutes. The power of it is, in fact, beyond words entirely. All pixelated image on your screen can do, and indeed all any spiritual teacher can do, is point. Truth is beyond words. It is beyond all of our concepts, man, woman, child, human being. It's beyond language. It's beyond all of our labels and definitions for all the compound phenomena that appear here on wobbling, spinning ball of rock. It's beyond all that. yet it can be experienced. Truth can be experienced even here in the midst of our insane busy days, packed with appointments, our schedules, email, paying bills, housework, eating, sleeping, going to the bathroom, etc. Truth can be experienced. What do we do? Set the goal of every situation as truth. Invite your inner teacher, the Holy Spirit. And by the way, you may call that it. It. It's not a person. You may call the Holy Spirit whatever you wish. A name is simply a label. It's not the thing that it stands for. After all, it's a symbol. All language is symbolic. Again, we're using it to point. That's all. Set the goal of every situation, every email, every task, every phone call. Set the goal of your relationship, your business relationships, your walking the dog, your nap in the middle of the afternoon, if you have one. Set the goal of every situation as truth and invite the Holy Spirit in. Just that. You'll be instructed along the way what to do, what to say, and to whom, where to go, if anywhere. You will be told, guided, taught, instructed. You'll be shown what to do. And when you, in fact, set the goal of every situation as truth, peace is the outcome. Peace is the outcome. Everything in the situation falls into place. People do exactly what they are supposed to do without any interference from you or any manipulation. Set the goal as truth and let the Holy Spirit do his part, the rest. Our job is simply not to interfere, not to try to tell our inner teacher what to do. Anybody ever try to tell God what to do? You don't have to self-identify if you've done that, right? I mean, it's common enough. Same idea here. Our job is to not interfere. Truth asks nothing. It simply is. We let it in, and we simply do as we're called to do. Peace is the result. And if you don't believe that this works, do it. Try it. I mean, really try it for a while, and you will see how experientially, viscerally, gut level, it is a game changer. Again, words don't, in fact, capture it, yet I really, really wish you to have this experience for yourself on a constant basis and watch everything transform. Try it. So, what is possibly standing in our way of this? Well, our own interference, quite honestly. I mean, truth simply is, It asks nothing but that we don't interfere. We just let it be as it is. That is the Holy Spirit's invitation to us, is to let truth be just as it is. We're the ones that want to control and order and manipulate it. We're the control freaks. Whether you think of yourself as a control freak or not, we're the ones that try to control the situation. And when we take an honest look and honestly assess the situation, our attempts at control and manipulation have not brought us what we seek. They haven't brought us the peace of God because we're still unhappy. We're still stressed out and overwhelmed, and we're still bogged down by the news that we see from all corners of the world. We still worry. We're still anxious about things, ill at ease or depressed or upset, frustrated and sad, you name it. The Holy Spirit invites us to let truth be just as it is. And it is this that we resist. At the outset of this conversation, we talked about the fact that we, in fact, introduce all of the complications of life ourselves. We take a look at these simple ideas and we tell ourselves several things. One of them might be, oh, I can't do that, as you say. You might tell yourself that you can do that. Again, as you say. There's that. We might tell ourselves this is too complicated. It certainly can't be this simple. Oh, it is this simple. I mean, part of the practice of spirituality, whether it's this course or any other tradition, is when we're really honest with ourselves, we take a look at, and we need to, it's part of the path. If we're to awaken, we've got to take a look at all of our drama. There is a word in the English language that begins with an S, and you are free to substitute that for drama, stuff. It's not stuff, it's another word that begins with S. Our stuff. We bring all of this to the light. That's part of the spiritual path. And again, this is something that we find ourselves resisting. So understand simply that resistance, in whatever form it appears to take, is of the ego. That's all. It's the ego that resists. It's our habitual tendency to see ourselves other than we are, as something other than who and what we are. It's that tendency that is familiar. It's familiar to us. So it continues to call to us until you start to practice what we're talking about. Set the goal of every situation as truth and let the Holy Spirit in to run the show and see what happens. All I can do is invite you to do it. And that's actually all that the Holy Spirit can do too. Because you'll find, and this is a very good thing, that your inner teacher does not force. He doesn't force you to awaken right now. We actually have to learn our own forgiveness lessons. We're the ones that must do the work. What's in it for us is awakening, but we must do the work. And we don't do it alone. We have our inner teacher as a guide, and you also have your other people, your brother, as a guide, as a support as well. Our inner teacher is precisely this inner. That's why I often refer to the Holy Spirit as our inner teacher. Even right here in the Course, the Holy Spirit goes by many, many different names. And it's not a person, so why wouldn't he, it, go by many different names? It's inner. Our inner teacher is inner. It's part of our mind. And should we choose to listen to this part of our mind, it will guide us and show us. It will show us what to do, how to set aside the ego. And as you do it, it's a game changer. Perhaps you know this from your own experience. And all that the Holy Spirit can do is invite us. He won't force. The guidance of our inner teacher is loving. It is patient, very patient, infinitely patient, in fact, kind. Now, it may feel like a message that's said here or anywhere else lands hardcore. Well, all right. Consider that you were ready for it to come across to you that way today. There are many different ways our inner teacher speaks to us. And as always, there's a reason that you're here tuning in to this conversation. Perhaps the most powerful thing that any of us could ever do is simply allow truth to be just as it is. One of the most powerful prayers that we could ever utter would be to ask for guidance, to ask for help in allowing truth to be just as it is. Help me allow truth to be just as it is. I allow truth to be just as it is. Please help me. It's done instantaneously. All the Holy Spirit needs is a fraction of a second of openness. So if you're able to give that, great. If you're able to give a second fraction of a second of openness, fantastic. We're invited to give another fraction of a second of openness and keep going. So this course aims to help us clarify our perception. We don't see things as they are. This course helps us to see them as they are. In the process, we effectively unlearn our conditioning. We learn a completely different thought system. That is why when Jesus tells us this is a course in mind training, that is so accurate. It is. It's exactly what it is. Remember that mind is the cause. All of this outside world of phenomena, including this, is an effect. We work on the cause. This is a course in changing your mind about who you are. And I know you know who that is. Of course, we all do. What you are, you know that as well. Where you are, you certainly know that. Spoiler alert, it's not in your home here in the world or a cafe or out for a walk, wherever you appear to find yourself. We all know this. We're awakening to it, and it's powerful. So I do invite you to join me. Nobody ever said this was fantastically light. It's simple. Again, we make the complications. So we're invited, quite honestly, to set our complications aside. Along the way, questions are inevitable, and I invite you to ask them here if you've got them. Please feel free to type them out here in the comments here in YouTube. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do that. This is the prompt here in the corner of your screen, that arrow. Click that, you'll be invited to subscribe and join us, and several videos appear each week. Okay? Thank you so much for tuning in, as always, and I will speak to all of you soon.